Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. Members of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, under the leadership of its national chairman, Chief Victor Oye, have been celebrating the Supreme Court's judgment which affirmed Mr. Oye as the national chairman of the party. Hundreds of loyalists of the party, including the governor of Anambra State, Mr. Willie Obiano, converged on Awka, the state capital, describing the Supreme Court verdict as a dawn of greater things to come for the party.
This is the mood that greeted news of the Supreme Court judgment over the national leadership of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. In a grand way, the national leader of APGA, who is also the governor of Anambra State, Mr. Willie Obiano, his wife, as well as the national chairman of the party, joined other members of the Governor's Lodge, Awka, to celebrate the judgment of the Apex Court, which favors Mr. Victor Oye-led group as the authentic leadership of the party.
That case was turned in the political cesspit where it belongs and opened a new vista for our great party to blossom, to grow, and take over the global political atmosphere.
The national chairman of the party then hands over a copy of the Supreme Court judgment to the governor. Governor Willie Obiano and his wife described the development as a new dawn in APGA.
It is a day to be happy, to rejoice in our God. God is going to do a lot of good things, a lot of big things through APGA.
As of today, we don't have any faction in APGA. APGA is one party. And the APGA members have been energized by this judgment. And therefore, today is our Pentecost. For us to go and preach the gospel of don't leave your brother behind, or 9 and 1 year, carry everybody along. That's the mantra of APGA.
The Supreme Court judgment of January 15 puts to rest wrongings among the grieved factions within the party. The task for the leadership is to unite all factions into a unit capable of withstanding other political oppositions.
All judges of the Court of Appeal in Benin City have decried the deplorable state of the premises and building housing the Appellate Court in Edo State capital, Benin. The judges raised the concerns during a special court session to mark the commencement of the 2016 legal year of the Court of Appeal. Briefing journalists after the proceedings, Senior Advocate of Nigeria Thompson Opoko also denied the allegations of dismissal of 5 judges of the court for corruption.
This is the Court of Appeal in Benin City along Benin-Auchi Road in the Edo State capital. Lawyers arrived for a special court session to mark the start of the 2016 legal year. Senior Advocate of Nigeria Thompson Opoko is spokesperson for the lawyers. He briefs journalists on the issues raised.
The report that judges of the Court of Appeal, Benin, that any of them or all of them were sacked or dismissed because of allegations of corruptions is totally untrue. The state of the court halls, the 2 court halls in Benin are bad, really bad, so bad that even Court 2 cannot house a dog. We call on the authorities to come into the court and rescue the buildings so as to restore the honor and the dignity and integrity of our courts.
For the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, funding of the judiciary remains a problem. Mr. Fred Obi is the representative of the NBA president. He explains the situation.
The funds for the judiciary are supposed to be in the Consolidated Revenue Fund. But in practice, this has not been the case, especially in the states. You remember there was a prolonged strike by JUSON, the judiciary workers, sometime last year, over autonomy for the judiciary.
The state of this facility is a source of concern. The hope now is that relevant authorities will restore pride and dignity to the Court of Appeal, Benin City, Edo State.
Time and again, it is said that the only constant thing in life is change. And this seems to be playing out in the way both the male and female genders cross over to occupation once reserved for a particular gender. Our correspondent Yomi Otaibe takes a look at some of the women professions that men are getting more and more interested in.
Nursing, hairdressing, and caring for passengers during an airline flight are some of the professions traditionally dominated by the female folks. Remember the popular saying that what a man can do, a woman can do even better? Well, these days, that saying seems to be applicable in a reverse form. Men are now making inroads into female-oriented jobs.
The underlying factor is economy. People are trying to venture into different areas to see how they can make a living for themselves.
Indeed, some men are into the makeover business, confidential secretary or personal assistants, and perhaps most especially hairstyling, which is our focus.
Also just a pixie cut with a bit of bangs in front.
Meet Patrick O'Malley, the creative director here at this beauty zone. He says he's been in the hairstyling business for a little over 10 years.
I was working at the salon as an office assistant while they make hair at the female section. I never woke up one morning and said, okay, let me take this money and go and learn this job. No, I've never thought of doing it, but I just felt hairdressing chose me. I got a lady that encouraged me to start doing it, that guys also do hair. She was the one that opened my eyes and tells me that, and said, Patrick, do you know you can make hair and be very good? I was like, are you serious? Why would I be doing hair? He said, there are guys, he started mentioning names, like look at the lives of Bobbies and all that. He started encouraging me from washing and that. Before I knew it, everything just turned around for me, and the love just grew for the job, and it became a consuming one.
Indeed, a female hairstylist agrees that some men are good hairdressers, but there are still areas of strength for both the male and female in the hairstyling field.
Like short hair, like Rihanna, like different style, a man can do it. And a woman can do it too. And there is a job that a man cannot do. A man cannot braid. Some man braids. Some man doesn't know how to braid. And some women do Ghana weaving. Almost women do Ghana weaving. A man cannot do Ghana weaving.
For me, I would say it's 50-50, but the ladies prefer the male. I ask them most time, why do you prefer guys to do your hair? Like here we have male and female. They will tell you that the guys are patient with them, that the ladies are not patient to listen to them, to listen to them, the customer service and all that.
So, as a woman, who do you prefer to make your hair?
I prefer female making my hair. I feel comfortable while they make my hair. When men are making my hair, I don't feel at ease. I don't feel comfortable at all.
They understand you better, and they're very competent at what they do. And I prefer their hands, yeah, and they're very good at what they do. So I'd rather choose them than choose anyone else.
Whether as a male or female, venturing into a space dominated by a particular gender comes with its challenges. You may want to keep this piece of advice close to your heart.
Initially, there will be this issue of people wondering, why is this man doing this? The expression, verbal and non-verbal expression, can be enough to intimidate you. But if you are strong-willed, you are determined, you forge ahead. With time, they reckon with you.
Now, back at the beauty zone, Patrick rejuvenates my hairstyle. How do I look? Yomi Otaibe reporting for Channels Television News.
All right now, Statistics of delayed, damaged or lost luggage by airlines in Nigeria is almost non-existent in the country. But most passengers rate the local airlines as being up and doing over baggage processing. In this special report, get to know what you can do to avoid losing luggage and how much the airline owes you if this happens. Our aviation correspondent, Bukola Joe Ketumbi, reports.
The airport terminal at a peak period with a distinct feature near every passenger, a box or boxes referred to as luggage. This luggage or baggage usually contains clothing, toiletries and trip necessities, and most times is checked in on an airline for transportation in the hold of an aircraft. Luggages are important to every traveler, and so when a passenger arrives Abuja, Nigeria, and his or her luggage is sitting in Istanbul, Turkey, it can be disturbing, as in the case of Turkish airline passengers who took their rage to the airside because their luggages did not arrive with them in December 2015.
The onus is on the airline to pre-inform the passengers. When you are coming on that flight, they tell you from Istanbul, look, if you are coming to Abuja, you can't come with your baggage because the flight is fully loaded with passengers, so therefore we don't have the capacity to carry all the bags after we fuel the aircraft. So which one do you prefer? You prefer to go to Abuja, wait for your baggage, or do you want the option of staying back in Istanbul?
Away from this incident, statistics of delayed, damaged or lost luggages by airlines in Nigeria is almost non-existent. Most passengers in Nigeria who choose to speak off camera, except for these two, say their luggages have almost always arrived.
Well, fortunately for me, no. I've never experienced that. I've always, they've always brought my luggage and they bring it at the right time.
However, one of them asked for an improvement to the baggage retrieval process at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos.
I had to wait for her close to an hour in International before she came outside with the luggage, just 2 pieces of luggages. And how many belts in International? There are 2 belts. So you have to wait. Emirates came, Ari came, Kenya came, and Ethiopia. So the queue, I had to call the queue as if you're buying fuel.
Here in the country, there are things to note if a baggage gets delayed or missing.
The one that is basic to us as a civil aviation authority is the Montreal Convention, which says that the passenger has to be paid 1,131 SDR. What we call SDR is special drawing rights. And in monetary terms, one special drawing right is slightly higher than $1 US.
On the whole, passengers can avoid this situation by customizing the look of a bag for easy identification, keeping valuable items in a carry-on bag, and ensuring that every piece of checked luggage has a 3-letter airport identifier that matches your destination airport. Bukola Joe Ketumbi, Channels Television News.
And when the News at 10 returns, as the World Economic Forum rounds up in Davos, Switzerland, our team in Davos brings us up to date on the latest events there. That's on Business News. Join us again.